Welcome to Candy Coated Insights Unwrapping Excellence, with expert tips, tools, and techniques to get the most out of candy.
Good day everyone and welcome to session 2 of Candy Coated Insights. My name is Venkat Ramalingam and I'm one of the consultants for RIB Software based in Melbourne, Australia, and today we will be looking at Candy's report manager and see how we can build, customize and share with confidence. And here is the agenda for today. We'll start with a brief introduction and then jump straight into the Candy system to look at the report manager overview to understand how it works with few standard reports and see how we can customize reports, and finally how we can generate a PDF book with multiple reports using Candy PDF Writer. Let's straight get into it. When we talk about estimation and project control, most people think about the final cost number, but in reality, the number itself is only half the story. What really matters is how well that number is communicated, the assumptions behind it, the risk built into it, and the confidence we provide to decision makers. That's where reporting plays a critical role. And we all know that good reports turn estimates into actionable insights, provides transparency to all the stakeholders, and it also supports the audit, validation, and tender governance. And today we will look at how Candy helps us to do that exactly, and that too effortlessly. So let's get into it, and I'll be giving a quick overview of the report manager. Then we will quickly see a few reports and get into the other topics for today. To start with, report manager is available across all the applications. So you may know that Candy is having multiple applications like estimating, planning, link and forecast, cash flow, so on and so forth. So each application has its own report manager available in it. So as you can see, estimating has its own report manager, and similarly if I go to planning manager, planning and open the report manager, the planning has its own report manager. So basically how it works is like each application has its own standard reports customized, and it is predefined reports are available, and further these reports can be customized. So if you see the planning, you will be seeing the planning related reports. So if I come back to the estimating, and if I open the report manager and see the standard reports available, you can see all the reports which is related to estimating. So for this session, we are going to stick with estimating report manager, and to give a brief overview of two categories of report, you can see that one is job estimate report, another one is global reports. So as name suggests, job estimate reports are pertaining to this particular job. So whatever the customization you do will be available only for this particular job. But in other side, the advantage is if you do any customization, if you take a backup of the job, it comes along with it. So the backup includes the reports customized inside the job estimate reports. In other words, the global reports is, as name suggests, it is whatever the customization you do here is available for all the jobs across your Candy system. And other words, like whenever you do the backup, it will not be available along with the backup, but it will be available across the standard Candy system. So pretty much this is used to standardize your company reports, so that once it is customized, everybody get the backup of the report manager. We will be seeing how to backup and recover the report manager separately later, but once it is customized, everybody can have the report manager for themselves, and the reporting process can be streamlined for the entire process. So that's the brief overview of how two different categories of reports works. So that is same for all the applications as well. And further, inside the reports, as I said, there are standard reports. As you can see, there are hundreds of reports available in each session. So you can select any report and you can customize. Further, here you do have two types of report, I would say. One is new style and one is old style. So the new style reports are the reports which has multiple customization options. So as you can see, this is BOQ gross value report. So if I go to the customization option, you can see that there is multiple customization option available. So we'll be seeing the customization option in detail later. But in other words, there are some old style reports which has limited customization option available. So if you can see that this report worksheet calculation line check, if I go to the customization option, so you can see that there is very less customization option available. So the easier way to identify the reports are the new style reports will have an icon with multiple lines in it, which obviously represents multiple customization options available for that. And whereas old style report will have a blank icon which doesn't have any multiple lines. That means it has a limited customization option available in it. I hope that gives the good brief overview of how the reporting manager works and what are the reports and report types available in Candy. Then to start off, I will start off with few reports which I think is most valuable for the usage of estimation. So let me start with worksheet calculation line check. So this is a predefined standard report which is available in the new report session and under the heading 15, and you can select that by selecting this 15.10 worksheet calculation line check. I have already added that report. So once you select that report, as you can see, you can rename if you want. So if you want to rename that, you can rename whatever you want to do. So let me add job, and so you can rename whatever the way you want the report to be listed. And as you can see, this is the old style report. So if I go to the customize report option, you can see that there are very limited customization option available. So basically the purpose of this report is, as a human, we do tend to make errors. So this report will show the potential errors found on the worksheet calculation lines. So these are the potential error, like 6 types of error which Candy identifies in the worksheet. So we will be seeing those with the examples. So I have built up some examples in a worksheet so that we will be able to go through that. So I can preview this report and it will show what are the calculation line, what are the error type. So as you can see, it shows what is the price code which is having that error, potential error, and what is the line. So you can see that it is 18, 17, 30 and 9. So on those lines these errors are there, and it also highlights what is the error. So as you can see, there are 4 errors reported here. The first one is space between percentage and waste. The second one is 0 is there when O is there when 0 is required, and then operator on subtotal line without the applied factor, and finally misuse of the open and close bracket. So we'll be seeing all this with the example. So you can note down that it is in E82245. So let's go to the bill of quantities, or you can go to the price codes as well. So as you can see, that is the price code E82245. So let me open that. So the first error is reported in, if I remember, number 17. So you can see that it is line of 17 of 38. So you can see the error reported is O is used instead of 0. So as a normal visible thing, you can see that we may think that it is multiplied by 10 hours per day into 2 men. That what produced the result of 0.41. But as system pointed out, it is not 0, it is O. So now if I delete this O and replace with 0, you will be noticing that this calculation get changed. So instead of 0.41, it will become 4.11. So this is one critical thing. So as 0 and O are near to the key structure in the keyboard, so it is a very common mistake when people typing, they may type O instead of 0 and they think that they typed correctly. So this is one thing which needs to be taken care. And the second mistake which is reported is the space between percentage and waste. Those who know Candy system knows that the Candy syntax of percentage waste calculates the waste quantity separately and lists out. But if you have a space between percentage and waste, system will not calculate that. So this is not a major thing like 0 and O, but if you want the wastage to be separately reported, please make sure that you are using the percentage waste as a syntax without any space in it. And as you see, this doesn't result in any change in values. It is just that how that quantity is listed in the resource analysis page. And the next one is applied factor usage. As you can see, this section and this section is same, but the values are different. Here the resultant value is 78.77. Here resultant value is 11,000 something. That is because the applied factor will work only when we sandwich the resources between the as symbol and the equal symbol. So during the calculation, we may think that we have put in the right as symbol in the top. Since we forgot to put it, you can see that the resultant value is not taking this divided by 150 meter cube into the calculations. So that is the reason it is also one of the biggest mistake people tend to make, which will result in huge change in the numbers. So if I make the as symbol put in, you can see that this also becomes 78.77. So that's one point to keep in mind. So as I said, the zeros and O's and these two are the critical things which result in major change in the calculation. And finally, whenever we are calculating the local variables, always make sure that local variable calculations starts with the open bracket and close with the closed bracket. So as you can see here, the first one production is bucket multiplied by cycles multiplied by hours multiplied by efficiency divided by bulk. We may think that the bulk is included in the calculations, but in as system is designed, always the variables should be within the open and close bracket. Since this bulk is not inside the open and close bracket, this bulk is not considered in the calculation. So that's why you can see that this production value is 432 because this bulk is not contributing to the calculation. But in this second case where the production 1, which is starting with open bracket and close with close bracket, the resultant value is 308. So this is also one of the critical thing to be remembered. So now if I change this production with the open bracket and close bracket again, you will be noticing that this production also becomes 308.57. So you can see that. So that's how it works. So always remember that the variables should be within the open and close bracket. Now I can store the worksheet and I can hide this mirror message. And now if I go back to the report manager and preview that report, system will show that there is no errors detected. So as I said, this is one of the critical report which I advise everybody to run before finalizing any tender. As I said, as we are humans and due to time pressure and various factors, we do make mistakes. That's the reason the system helps us to identify the common mistakes which we make so that we can rectify that and make changes. So moving along, so I would like to highlight one more report which will be most useful one, that is BOQ listing with worksheets net. So this report is available under specialized reports, which is 2.1 BOQ listing with worksheets net. Again, since this is a new report, you can see that if I go to the customize report option, there is multiple customization report option available. To start with, you can customize the report name. Say if I want to customize the report name, so you can simply select use report manager name, and you will be noticing that whatever the changes we make here will be visible in this place. So now if I say use report manager name, you can see that it became bill of quantities with worksheet. I can add, say for example, this is vent shaft, vent. You can add the job name as well so that it is shown here. And further, you can format as well depending upon what is the font size you need. If you want to fit to the page width, you can select to the page width, and you can select what are the line spacing, and if you want to increase or decrease the width of the description, you can change that as well. So the best part is whatever the changes you make will be visible in the bottom screen so that you know what changes you are making. And in terms of layout, you can add watermarks. Say for example, you want to add watermark like internal, you can add the watermarks which will be printed in all the reports. When it comes to printer, you can select various printer types, like if you have any default printers, you can select the default printer, or if you want to print to PDF, you can do that, or Snagit, whatever you want, you can do that. Let me select my default printer. And next is background. So if you want any lines in the page style, you can do that as well. So the lines will be very minute, which I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see this, but once we preview that, you will be able to see that. And in terms of header and footer, obviously you do have to customize the header and footer. Like you can have multiple options. So these are the insert lookup option available. So you can insert company code, name, so on and so forth. And similarly, you can have the logo added. So if you want to your logo to be added, you can browse and you can add the logo. So whichever the logo you add, it will be populated here. So you can add your logo here and client's logo here. So it has both the options. And similarly in the footer as well, you do have option to add the logos and also adding multiple lookups. And next comes the columns. As you might be knowing that in Candy system document manager, you can add various column layout into the system. Similarly, you can add various columns here as well using this option. So if you want to add any rates or any specific details to be added, you can add that as well in here. So these are the columns which you can add. Say for example, if I want to add basic things like, say let's take an example of attributes. So if I want to add the attribute, I can double click so that it gets added. So let me put the attributes here, or if I want to move up and down, I can move up and down as well. And if you want to add any double lines, you can add the double lines as well using this option. So it will insert the double vertical lines. And I can click on OK. And further, you can rename the column headers as well. Say for example, if I want the unit to be displayed as unit of measurement, I can simply type UOM so that it will be represented as UOM. So that way you can customize the names depending upon your requirements. Then column options. So column options will be available only for the columns which has a customization option. Say for example, if I go back and add any column with the customization option, say this net split amount as a customization option, as you might be knowing, whichever has star in it, that means it has a customization option in it. So if I go to the column options and refresh, you can see that I have that option, and here I can select which detail needs to be added for printing this report. So that's how you can customize this report. Let me remove that because that is not relevant to this report, and can click on OK. And similarly, you can go to page totaling to see whether you want to bill page or you want summary, and if you want to group by specific thing, you can group by. And finally, you can do item selections, like you want only external items or external and internal items. You can select whichever the thing you want. As it is internal report, we can select both external and internal items. And we do have options of filtering various things, and you can click on OK. And now if you preview this report, you can see that this report comes with all the net worksheets within it, instead of opening each and every worksheet and reviewing that, you can see all the calculations in it. So this will be helpful in review process, and you can see what is the labor, plant and material component. So this is one of the best report to review your entire thing. As this is blocked out, you will not be able to see the internal watermark, but if there is a report which is completely white background, you will be able to see the complete internal watermark as well. So that's how we can customize the report. And finally, the last option is PDF book. So this is the report which I used to showcase the option of print PDF book. Obviously, in order to use this function, you need to install Candy PDF writer, which is called Amuni. So if you go to our help center, you'll be able to find the steps to install that PDF writer. So the best part is once you customize some reports, you can print them as a PDF book. So as you can see, I have customized these 3 reports, and once I select the header, this print PDF book option will be enabled. Once I select this print PDF book, I do have option to change the page size and where it has to be saved, and you can add the letterhead if you want. I can simply save as PDF file so that it will save as a PDF file. The best part about this is like this will print a PDF book with the bookmarks for it. So it is opened in my other screen. Let me bring it here. So you can see that it printed a complete PDF book with the table of contents in it plus the bookmarks. So you can navigate easily between the thing, and it has a same heading structure whatever you have used in the job. So the same heading structure is available. So if you want to navigate to paintwork, you can easily navigate to the paintwork. Similarly, you can see the resource analysis as well. So if you want to see the paintwork resource analysis, you can select the paintwork resource analysis. So this way the entire job can be printed into a PDF report book so that the entire project can be reviewed in a much more efficient manner. I hope that gives the good idea of print PDF book option. Once again, to reiterate, in order to this functionality to work, you have to install Candy PDF Amuni Writer, which is available in our help center. So let me close this. And finally, once this report is customized, just like you do have option of backup and recover, you can backup this global report manager to the file. I'm not going to the details, but you can back up to this file and you can share it with all the members who will be using this system, and they can come back and recover this file from the stored location so that all the people will have the same customized report available for them to use. Only thing is, whenever you recover, it will rewrite everything. So it will remove all the previously customized report and install the new customized report. So that's one point you have to keep in mind. That's pretty much about Candy's report manager functionality. I hope that gave good insight about Candy's functionalities in terms of report manager. So as I said, more information as well as any previous webinars that you might have missed can be found selecting the Help Center menu in the software. The Help Center menu can be found on the top right hand corner in the software. So as you can see, the top right hand corner of the software, you can find the Help Center, and you can type in what is the required topic you want to search in the search article. So you can type in here so that you will be able to find the related articles, guides, or even the webinars related to that topic. And as a reminder, we offer online in-person training courses from introductions, basic and advanced through all the modules within Candy, QTO, estimating, planning, and post-tender along with earned value management. And also we offer consulting on specific functionality and features within Candy to get your team equipped to get the best out of Candy. We host in-person and virtual seminars focused on specific topics to help you go from beginner to advanced, and regular webinars to educate you on new features within Candy and tips and tricks to get you up to speed quicker and more effectively. And product resources and advice are available as well as telephonic support. Yeah, that's all for today. Hope the session was helpful. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thanks for joining Candy Coated Insights. See you next time. Until then, keep unwrapping excellence with Candy.